rising in several curved pitches from the surrounding beach grass, like an extension of the landscape. It had been built in the Gilded Age, they told me, and handed down through Lonnie's mother's side of the family. The rooms, like Lonnie's drawers, the boxes, the closets, and the cupboards, never ending, filled with so many forgotten, unused things. Horse stables with no horses in them, servants' quarters which no longer housed servants. Maids came and went inconspicuously when the family wasn't home. They were not a part of the fabric of the house itself. They merely removed the dust when you weren't looking. It must have been a fantastic amount of dust. The house was built so that members of the family would never have to see or hear one another unless they desired it. At the top of the house was the nursery, not just a bedroom, but 3 of them, designed for the sort of large family that had fallen out of fashion. The bedrooms ended in a vast playroom, filled with half-inflated balls, old squeaky tricycles, a smattering of child-sized chairs, and a stage at one end for spontaneous performances. There was a secret cupboard underneath the stage, big enough for 2 small children to fit comfortably inside, or less comfortably, a skinny woman and her small charge. Lonnie's name was carved crookedly, sloppily, in one wall of the cupboard, deep enough to be traceable with a finger, even in the dark. We arrived in the evening by car. They didn't make me find my own way by train, but let me ride in the back seat like I was a second child. The air was cooler the farther we got from the city, though still filled with moisture. We rolled the windows down, and I felt I could eat mouthfuls of the breeze. We didn't say much on the drive. William was subdued by the view out the window, and we all appreciated the silence. "You know," Lonnie said at one point, "my hand still hurts. This sort of ache right down the middle." "Have it looked at," was James's only response. Between the wealth and Lonnie's criticisms, I'd expected her father to be a large, villainous man. I pictured him, bearded, behind a huge oak desk in a bow tie. The man who answered the door in Southampton wasn't anything like that. Robert was small and thin, bordering on delicate. It was as if all his virility had gone into producing his daughter, as if she had sucked the life out of him. Lonnie kissed him on each cheek, her face betraying no sign of emotion. "What are you doing here?" she said. "You didn't tell us you were coming." "You definitely picked a rough time for me to make it out." His voice was soft and sweet. "I'm trying to imagine you didn't do that on purpose." "Daddy," Lonnie said, her voice stern despite the childish nickname. I couldn't help thinking, what do you call a man with no arms and no legs in the water? "You're here now, anyway," Lonnie said. "How long can you stay?" "Through next Monday." "You'll be here for the Labor Day party," James said. "I just want to see my grandson. Where's William?" I carried him over. Robert was shorter than me by a few inches and leaned in close enough that I could smell the mothy, old man scent coming off his skin. William regarded him curiously, his hand on my breast. "This is Elle," Lonnie said. "Our nanny." "Hi," I said. Robert didn't look at me. He was studying William's face, furrowing his brows. He didn't touch the baby or speak to him. He only looked, and then, turning toward Lonnie, said, "More and more like a Thomas." Declarative, approving. I guess that was Lonnie's maiden name. "Now," he said, turning his attention to me. Our faces were practically touching. "Tell me about yourself." I laughed nervously, unsure what to say. The sentences that flashed through my mind had no business being related to this man.